Hello, in this lesson I will present to you the net present value, which is a very popular tool in project appraisal. The net present value is the present value of future cash flows less the initial cash outlay. The formula for NPV is equals to the summation of all the present value of all cash flows at the discount rate. Companies normally use the cost of capital as a discount rate if the risk of the investment is the same as the risk of the company. And then we will then less the initial cash outlay. The NPV of the project simply measures the value added to shareholders' wealth. So if the NPV is positive, we will accept the project as the project adds value to shareholders' wealth. If the NPV is negative, we will reject the project as it destroys value. For example, if Rita invested $100,000 into a 5-year project with the expected cash flows as shown in the table below, the cost of capital of the company is 12%. To get the NPV, we will have to discount all the cash flows at the current cost of capital, 12%, and then we will need to less the initial cash outlay. So, in this case, 100,000 is a negative cash flow, as we'll need to invest this sum of money at the beginning. Then we will have 20,000 in the first year, discounted at 12%. Then in the second year, we have another 20,000. In the third year, we have the 30,000. Fourth year, we have the 40,000, and fifth year, we have a 50,000. So, do we accept or reject the investment? So, from what we can see here, the NPV of a project is $8,946, and since it is positive, we will accept the project, as it adds value to Retail Incorporated's shareholders' wealth. If we were to plot the NPV of this project against its cost of capital, you can observe that as cost of capital increases, the NPV of a project will decrease. This is normal, as the project gives a lower and lower return when the capital becomes more expensive. So at this point here, we can see that when R is 12%, in which case this was the cost of capital that we used earlier, the NPV is $8,946. And you can also observe that when the cost of capital reaches 15%, the NPV will be equals to 0. This rate is what we call the internal rate of return, as we will see in the next lesson.